Stocks jumped after the conclusion of yesterday's FOMC meeting. We're going to be talking about the S&P 500. We're going to be talking about Bitcoin. We're going to be talking about the Nasdaq. We're also going to be talking about a few individual stocks as a follow-up to my previous video, which includes Intel, Tesla, as well as Apple stocks. See what's going on in some of these markets, what they are doing, how they're reacting to yesterday's FOMC meeting, which I was not particularly bullish about because we were not getting a rate cut. But we're going to see some odds for the CME Watch tool later in this video and see what the market thinks of the next few FOMC meetings because the odds are shifting, especially since yesterday. Let's go ahead and take a look into the S&P 500 index, the ES1 exclamation mark, the futures. What I'm seeing on the higher time frames, which is going to be the 6-month time frame, this is telling me that this is still on a parabolic move. Why is that? It's because I pointed out this rising wedge pattern, which had validated this upper trend line first before seeing a breakout here since the last half of last year. And this breakout continues until you see a red candle breaking back into the rising wedge pattern. This is still looking like a very bullish move because rising wedges are bearish patterns that have a higher chance of breaking to the downside. If the bulls actually manage to break out of this rising of a rising wedge pattern to the upside, that is a very bullish move. Now, there are some bearish signals to be watching out for, including a very overbought RSI on the 6-month time frame, as well as bearish divergence on the 6-month time frame. So could you see a red 6-month candle close sometime soon? It could be. So something to be watching out for, even though it looks bullish on the price action charts. Let's go ahead and take a look into a lower time frame. This is the 3-month time frame. And on the 3-month time frame, you can see a more close-up of this breakout here. And there is also bearish divergence possible. What I'm talking about is a higher high on the price action chart, but with the possible lower high on the RSI. And if you actually take a look into previous instances where this has happened, it has also produced a red 3-month candle. So something to be watching out for because a pullback could still come if this prints a bearish divergence chart. Let's go ahead and take a look into the monthly time frame. And we got a monthly candle close coming in about 2 hours, 3 hours. And this looks like it's going to end up with a bearish divergence scenario. And you could see a pullback here on the next monthly candle due to that signal. So something to be mindful of. Let's see if the bulls can escape that bearish divergence scenario because it usually means that there's going to be a pullback coming. Now, we're all just talking about probabilities here. Nothing in this market is 100%. Let's take a look into the weekly time frame here. And on the weekly time frame, there has been bearish divergence, but it has yet to produce a red candle. Could the bulls actually escape this bearish divergence signal? I'm comparing this high with these 3 green candles here. And you see still a less RSI reading comparing to the previous high. However, that bearish divergence pullback has not come yet. Something to be mindful of. Let's go ahead and take a look into the daily time frame just to see how the markets are reacting after that FOMC meeting. And we are seeing a very convincing daily candle here. Now, it is running within a rising wedge pattern here on the daily time frame. If it does not break out to the upside here, which the probabilities are not exactly in favor of, then it could be breaking down to the downside, which are the probabilities are in favor of. So if it actually breaks down by this point, let's just say let's just say by this point, for example, price target would be about just right underneath 7,100 for S&P 500. ES1 exclamation mark, its futures. Let's talk about Bitcoin, or the Nasdaq first, actually. The Nasdaq, which is comprised of a lot of components from the tech sector and also incorporates quite a bit of companies from the S&P 500. Now, let's talk about what's happening on the 6-month time frame because it's going to look very similar. And when in doubt, I always look for comparables. And this is going to look very similar to the S&P 500, breaking out of a rising wedge pattern on the 6-month time frame. So a lot of same things could be said about the Nasdaq. The weekly time frame, let's see if it has escaped that bearish divergence signal. It has not yet because I'm comparing these 3 weekly candles. Still, it's high versus the previous high here from the October 25th, 2025, last year, week of October 27th, 2025. You still see a lower high on the RSI, so that could still produce a pullback here. Let's see if that pullback comes or if the bulls are actually strong enough to continue pushing. If you're a bull, you want to see the RSI, at least in terms of this wave here, to go beyond the last RSI reading from October 27th, the week of October 27th. Otherwise, it could take a pullback and see what happens. Let's go ahead and take a look into Bitcoin. Bitcoin is correlated with stocks, especially the S&P 500. And Bitcoin here is currently trying to avoid downside. And on the 3-day time frame is still my focus because I've been talking about this falling wedge pattern breakouts. And it has broken out not too long ago. The price target for this breakout here is going to be about above $117,000. That could help quite a bit of these altcoins bounce back if it gets there because price targets are estimates only. There could be more or less. Very much depends on a lot of what's happening in the markets in the world, which includes the Iran war and gas prices. All right, so I have talked about this chart for quite some time, as well as the stocks since last time. If you guys are new to trading, make sure to continue watching this channel because you can learn how to read the charts as well as the macro factors to stack the odds in your favor. I was just in your shoes 7 years ago, and I plan to be here for many years more. Now, I have scaled it back into crypto based on this breakout idea. I have also scaled back into crypto after yesterday's FOMC meeting. I do still expect quite a bit of choppy trading for crypto, however, because of the amount of resistance that's above the price action. And we are still in danger zone because we are still not out of the bear market, technically. Why is that? It's because we're still not above the daily 200 SMA, which I do expect challenge from Bitcoin to establish itself above the daily 200 SMA for all types of significance. That's currently at about $84,000 right now, but I have scaled him back into crypto based on an idea here that I'm going to show you. It's because we are on the daily 21 SMA. I do see that as supports. And if I actually zoom in, I can see a potential falling wedge pattern that's forming on the 6-hour time frame, so there could be more downside. However, my reasoning is this. I did talk about a tentative buy-in to crypto as it approaches this bottom trend line because I do expect that to be supports. And even though this is a rising wedge scenario possibility, it's not validated yet, I still said that this rising wedge pattern is looking less likely to break to the downside, or at least steeply to the downside. Why is that? It's because I am not seeing the bearish divergence that comes with this price action. Usually when I see rising wedges, and I would usually see bearish divergence. However, on the 3-day time frame here, I'm still seeing strength. So therefore, I said this rising wedge pattern may not be too steep to the downside if it breaks, or if it even breaks to the downside. And I actually bought back in yesterday after the FOMC meeting because I have seen the price action touch down the daily 21 SMA and some reversal signals like bullish divergence on the hourly time frame. And I have also reasoned that I was about maybe 3% away from the bottom trend line here, and this is an upward sloping trend line, and therefore the time is on my side. And that was why I have actually bought back into a position yesterday after the FOMC meeting. All right, let's go ahead and take a look into some individual stocks here. Let's talk about Tesla because I talked about this chart last time. And Tesla here has actually broken out of a falling wedge pattern. And this is why you guys should pay attention to technical analysis patterns because it could either save you some money or make you some money. And this is on the weekly time frame, broke out of this falling wedge pattern with the price target of $475. Price targets are estimates only. Everything I'm saying here is just purely my speculations and opinions. Of course, it is not financial advice. So let's take a look if Tesla can actually meet that price target because that's what looks like it's happening on the shorter term time frame. Let's take a look into a longer term time frame here, 6-month time frame, where you're seeing bearish divergence actually playing out to the finest. What I'm talking about is this. You got higher highs on the price action chart, but lower highs on the RSI, and that produced a pullback every time. So that pullback is playing out right now, and it could be on the bounce back up. Let's take a look into a shorter term time frame and see more clarity on what Tesla is doing. I think back on the weekly time frame even. Back on the weekly time frame, this is a rising wedge pattern. A bigger rising wedge pattern. Inside, there was that falling wedge pattern. So let's see if Tesla can actually escape a breakdown of this huge rising wedge pattern after breaking out of the smaller rising wedge pattern. Because if it actually breaks down, then the price target, if it breaks down by this point, for example, price target would be about $100 for Tesla. I mean, that is a very steep drop. Could that come with when the indices drop? Because, like I pointed out, there was still bearish signals on the higher term time frame, like the 6-month time frame. All right, so something to be cautious of. Let's take a look into what's happening with Intel, which is having a great week right now, which was also not unexpected. Why is because I have pointed out a very bullish chart for Intel Corporation in my last stock video. I will link you guys to that video at the end of this one and how I have saw this coming. Now, this is on the weekly time frame for Intel Corporation, and it has actually broken out of this huge falling wedge pattern. I think it's more noticeable if we actually zoom out a little bit more. I think even a longer term time frame would be, there you go. This is on the 3-month time frame, zoomed out a little bit more. And this is how to spot these moves before they happen. This is a falling wedge pattern. Price target for this pattern was $80. Intel has actually smashed that price target, and this has happened almost right after my last video. And it has smashed its price targets. So this is what it's looking like for Intel right now. Let's take a look into a higher term time frame and see where it could be heading. 6-month time frame. there are some bearish signals on the 6-month time frame. Why is that? It's because, well, this 6-month candle closes in about 2 months, so still have some time for this to play out. But after the 2 months, might want to be paying attention to how the 6-month candle closes, because if it closes in a higher high comparing to both these highs, this is a kind of a trap formation because you have two highs to compare it to, and both of those highs are going to end up reading a bearish divergence signal on the RSI, which means that there's going to be a pullback. All right, let's go ahead and take a look into Apple. 6-month time frame for Apple here, and it is in a very overextended zone. Could it escape a rising wedge breakdown? Because there's quite a bit of bearish divergence on the 6-month time frame. And when these bearish divergence signals stack up, the pullbacks could get bigger. Let's go ahead and take a look into the weekly time frame. I pointed out that there was a double bottom pattern on the weekly time frame with the price resistance to be about $280. The bottoms were about $250. Price target for this double bottom pattern would be about $315. However, like I said, there was a rising wedge pattern here. I think it's going to be validated on the monthly time frame. And there was also bearish divergence signal on the 6-month time frame. So let's see if that double bottom is enough for Apple to escape a rising wedge breakdown. Because if it breaks down, if it breaks down by this point, for example, price target would be roughly $200 for Apple. So that is just an estimate. So let's see if that's what Apple does. Gonna take a look into a few pieces of news before we wrap up here. Now, the first piece of news is by Reuters. It says S&P 500 Nasdaq on course for best month since 2020 despite Middle East risk. That is still the major risk right now because it has pressure on oil prices. And when the oil prices are high, that is not going to be good. It's not going to be a green light for the Fed to cut rates. Cryptocurrency rebounds after Fed holds rates steady. Market talk. Now, there's quite a bit of oversold signals for cryptocurrencies. That's why we're seeing quite a bit of a bounce back here. Let's see if Bitcoin can establish itself above the daily 200 SMA. That is the single most important technical signal that I am looking forward to, that I'm looking for in the near-term future. Let's take a look into the FOMC, the CME watch tool here. Because the odds have been shifting since yesterday, but we're actually back above 10% for an ease for the July meeting. So I think that's after the market has digested what happened after yesterday's meeting, especially after Jerome Powell has announced that he's going to be staying on as a voting member, as a board of governor. That could still affect interest rate decisions. Now, this basically wraps up for today's video. Let me know if you find value in this content, and if you do, make sure to consider becoming a channel member of mine. As a channel member, you can request any updates in terms of stocks, crypto, in the format that I'm doing here, and I'll get back to a request within 2 days. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. I'll have the join link pinned in the comment section below.